Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyadhilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanandam, we welcome all the viewers, every one of you that are joining us from various different corners of the globe. We welcome every one of you here for this live stream. And I know each of you are as excited for being here, being part of this program to learn the secrets of awakening your highest brain waves, the highest brain frequency, the wavelength in which we exist. Yes, I welcome all the viewers that are joining us on YouTube, all the viewers that are joining us on Facebook, Nithyananda, Maivana, and all of you. Welcome to this stream live. Yes, so today we have something very exciting for all of you. All of us know that the brain is one of the most complex and yet one of the most amazing organs in our body, right? It manages to function, manage, command, control so many activities that happen simultaneously in our system, isn't it? Now, before we enter into the show today, I'd like to start with a question to every one of you. How many of you have certain patterns or let's say certain habits that you really want to change? Many times you felt like, I really want to change this mindset of mine. Like whether you think that, you're not enough, or sometimes you may even think that you're not capable of doing certain things. You feel like this is not meant for you. You're never going to be good at something. How many of you have had such, or even still have such mental setups in you which you really want to change? Please put in the chat. Every one of you that are commenting right now, every one of you that are actually posting right now, please understand, every time you have those thoughts in you that you want to change, we are all always taught as if it's just something psychological that you need to work with. But at your physical level, you have the ability to rewire your brain. Yes, you heard it right. You can rewire your brain, which means you can change the characteristics of who you are, what you are, how you behave, how you respond, how things happen to you, everything just with your decision. You have the key, the command key in your hand. We are going to be learning in this live stream about how you can rewire your brain, how you can relate with your brain to understand it better. We all know about the brain. We're all taught about the brain as an organ that controls everything that happens in our body. But what if I told you that you are actually not using your complete brain? We're all trained to, taught to, and throughout our life are only using bare minimum 10 to 15% of our complete brain is potential and its complete possibilities. There's a lot more that our brain can do, which is largely untapped. Yes, we have one person who's posting, you want to change yourself. Yes, I request you to please put your full name. You put Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya as your name. Welcome to the live stream. Nice to have you all here. But I request you all to please have your actual name.
Yes, and it would be really lovely to know about each of you. You all can introduce yourselves. What's your name? And where exactly are you joining us live now from? Take a moment and share with us. I also see someone named Om Namo Bhagavate and like one more name, Balanced. All of you can change your name to your original name. And this is also part of KAILASA's digital security policy. And anyways, coming back to our subject that we were discussing, your brain, though it is just 3% of your entire mass, it actually takes up almost 25% of the entire energy in your body. and it performs right now as you're sitting and watching this video. Are your eyes blinking? Then your brain is actually functioning, or you're simply breathing, you're just watching, you're processing this. Just in this moment, as you're watching this video, your brain is performing so many activities together. And do you know something? Even the most genius person of the century, like as we call it, Mr. Albert Einstein, when scientists peered into his brain, when they were researching about his brain, they understood that even he was using only 10% of his entire brain. And largely, the whole population uses less than 3% of our entire brain. If our brain is awakened, if the different parts of our brain is awakened, if it becomes fully functional, it can do some of the most phenomenal things. You will have some of the most extraordinary powers.
Actually, there's a very beautiful study performed by scientist Debbie Whitmore, and she beautifully says about how the science of neuroplasticity, which means how your brain can rewire itself. It can forge new connections. It can break cycles of negative thinking, acting. And this is what Patanjali very beautifully describes in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. And he tells us also how you can rewire your brain patterns. You might be struggling with addictions. It's not just addictions, even it could be the thinking pattern that you are dealing with every day. You feel like you're a failure, or you feel like some things are not happening properly the way you want. You like something, you don't like something, you want to change something. You can work at a very physical level with your brain, and you can actually rewire your brain. You can actually experience how the whole connections happen in your brain. And that is what we are going to be learning today through this live stream, through this video. Now, to understand this, the very basic thing, the first thing that all of us need to understand is the complexities of our brain. How exactly does our brain look? How does our brain appear to be? And what are brainwaves? How exactly does brainwaves function? And as all of us are aware, it's our brain that has the complete, it's like the command center for our body. It has a complete control over what our body should do, should not do, what's right, wrong, everything. Now, your brain has a complete capacity to decide what actions you're going to take every time, whether you're building an addiction for coffee, or whether you're building a habit of doing yoga every day, doing workouts every day. All those are actually having a physical impact in your brain. Do you know, every time you do an act, a new connection is formed in your brain, what science calls as synapses. So every time you repeat the same action, one particular synapse gets strengthened, tightened together more and more, and that's how addictions happen. That's how habits are formed. Every time you repeat a certain action, every time the brain has to pass a command from a particular channel, it strengthens that synapse more and more. And that will have a lasting impression in you. Literally, it will enable you, allow you to have a contact, a connection built through which your the impulses, the signals are constantly passed on. And this has a huge impact. Let's say you drink coffee continuously every day morning for 6 days. Each time you repeat it, you're actually building that pattern. Your brain is actually developing a new groove, and it is starting to build a habit of that.
That is very true, actually. How many of you have observed if you, let's say, you pour water on a sandy surface? The more and more and more number of times that you keep pouring water, the depth keeps becoming more and more. Correct? Like this, in our brain, we have something called as the brain neurons. Like as she was explaining, like as zoom in, and zoom in and see into your brain, peer into your brain. Like literally something like this. I'm just going to fully zoom into your brain neuron. There are two neural ends. And these are connected by something called as synapses. Now, from one neuron to another neuron, you all know, right? Our brain is filled with electrical impulses. Like for me to move my brain is actually sending electrical impulses for my hand to be moved. My brain is sending electrical impulses for my eyes to blink and for my mouth to speak. Like this, numerous electrical impulses are being sent continuously in us. Now, if you have a decision, let's say you are thinking, somehow I want to become this person. You want to really have a fit body. You want to be that person who's so confident. Every day you go on again and again cherishing all kinds of negative thoughts in you. But you go on also dreaming. One day I am going to become this person. Look, one day somehow I am going to be the person, like I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to become rich, but you don't even move out of your couch. How many of you are able to relate to this? Understand, but problem here is it is not just because, okay, yes, you're not moving, you're not doing some action. That alone is not the problem. The problem here is you are consciously creating new neural links, which keeps strengthening more and more. As you keep repeating it more and more, you're strengthening it more and more. And what happens in turn? This habit, this pattern in you gets strengthened. Okay, can you all tell me here? All the people that are here. Nithyanandam, Paninsung Vadayo, Nithyanandam, Ramesh Gautamaya, Nithyanandam, to all the people that are here with us.
Shubhamaya and Ranjeep Sharmaji, Nithyanandam, and we also have
Onshia, I think. I'm
yes.
sorry, if you could just rename yourself, it would be really nice. Welcome to all of you. Can you all tell me, how many of you are able to relate with this? You have a pattern, like a habit, you really want to get rid of it, okay? Like for example, you want to wake up, really you want to wake up early in the morning. You want to do this so that you can earn wealth. You want to do these actions so that you could have a stable relationship. But you somehow, even after you decide, you somehow keep seeing you're failing in that particular thing. Can you all put, if you see in your life something like this, please take a moment now and put on the live chat right now if you are able to see this. Just take a moment now and type. You see that there is a pattern that you really want to get rid of, but even after you probably decided a few times, but you keep seeing it keeps repeating. How many of you are relating with this? Understand, this is something very, very important for us to understand how it is actually stored in our brain. See, the most important thing here is how all these things are happening in your brain. Every time. Now let me say, okay, now I'm waving my hand. Now for me to wave my hand, my brain impulses as it keeps getting transferred the signals that are happening in the brain. Those impulses are having a particular pathway. And this pathway is getting strengthened every time I start behaving that way.
And this is not just when we are talking about these pathways, right? When we are talking about these habits building, it is not just limited to psychological. What we are talking is physical. Understand? Every time you go, let's say, like, let me take another example. Let's say, whenever every day morning you wake up from the bed, the first thing your hand automatically goes to is coffee. You want to go and take that cup of coffee, only then you can even start your day. Understand? First day, playfully, let's say, or normally your mom would have come and given you had the coffee. That moment, your brain, we're talking about something physical, like how my hand is touching this hand, something as physical as that, your brain sends one message, passes a synapse to another part through the connections that it has. Please understand, the first day you drink coffee, second day again you wake up in the morning, your mom comes and gives you coffee. Each time, each day morning, when you wake up and drink coffee, that particular synapse, that particular connection in the brain gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So your brain develops a physical groove. Your brain actually develops a physical connection which gives a command. The moment you wake up, automatically your brain will just go like, coffee. I have to drink the coffee to start my day.
Exactly. Actually, even if you notice, even like, for example, you get into your car, you start driving to your office. But actually, leave on that. All of us do this. You wake up, you go and brush your teeth, right? How many of us are aware when we brush our teeth? You actually see automatically your hand is just taking the brush and you're putting the paste and you start brushing. How do we do this automatically? What's actually going on? Understand, this is where these brain signals come into play. When you're doing whatever you're doing, you're actually enabling your brain neurons to strengthen their neural pathway. Like between two neurons, the link that is there, the path the impulse takes, the path it defines, you keep strengthening that.
Actually, we have Shubhamaya who's posted that, yes, I relate to this. My hand goes to the mobile to check social media every morning. And that's important. You need to understand, Shubhamaya, like you posted. Every time your hand goes out, takes the phone, sees the social media, your brain is actually developing a physical pathway, a physical connection. This is how addictions are formed. So, over a period of time, what happens is our brain strengthens that connection. It becomes beyond us. So automatically your hand will just go and pick up the phone and see. You don't even need to make a conscious decision for that. Understand? Every time your brain has formed this, you have struggled with a habit or a pattern. Whether it's simple, something as simple as having to drink coffee every day in the morning, or something as complicated as every time you hear a certain word, you break down. Any of this is a physical, carries a physical imprint on your brain. And the good news is you have, you can change it. The best news is you have the power to change it. And the solution for it is very, very simple. That's what we're going to be learning in this video today. We're going to be seeing how you can actually change this physical connections. You can rewire your brain. Let's say so far to this day, you have been taught that you are a failure. Every time you remember that you're a failure, your brain has developed that circuit. So automatically your remembrance about you is that you're a failure. That's the bad news. That's the sad part. Unfortunate for us. Because every time you give anything negative to yourself, any doubt, any hatred, any powerlessness in you, every time you do that, your brain has developed a physical connection. From the age of 4, 5 years old, as young as you were, and now 40 years old that you have these connections built in you. Imagine what an amount of impact that it will have in you. Exactly. But the best part of this is you have the complete capability to disconnect a circuit, reconnect another circuit in your brain. You can do this. Very, very simple.
And understand. Actually, here, once we understand about this way our brain functions, actually today we are going to just give you a brief introduction about this. Tomorrow we're going to go in depth because our brain is so complex. It has baffled the scientists for more than 2 centuries now. People are just amazed. Actually, I think more than 5 centuries now, people have been trying to understand the human brain. So many modern day scientists are trying to decode what's exactly going on. But our ancient scriptures, the Hindu scriptures, have given thorough methods step by step of how you could awaken this to its fullest potential so you can become a superhuman. You'll have the powers, the possibilities, like how you try to imagine yourself to be, right? Like many times you just sit and you're sitting with yourself, you're being with yourself. So suddenly visualizing yourself to be, yes, this are the things that I want to achieve. When I really want to become rich, I want to have a great life. I want my family to be together with me, very happy about me, proud about me, and they are going to feel like you have certain goals in your life. You should feel, you will think that, look, this is how I want my near and dear ones to remember me. Now, all these things are actually, you are having the possibility. That's why you're even having the ability to have a desire for it. If you feel something is out of your reach, like you're not going to have a desire saying that, oh, I want to go and live in Mars. You're not going to have the desire unless you feel that you have the capability for it, right? Now, if you are even having a desire, understand you have the possibility, you have the capability for it. It is just that your brain needs to be awakened to that. And it is possible. That is the secret about initiation. When you receive Diksha from the Guru, your brain circuit will be fully awakened. You will just get a transfer of the brain circuit of the Guru inside you.
And now let's also talk some science. Let's talk some biology to physically understand our brain. Like we shared with you all, you have the good news with you. You have the capability to rewire your brain. Now, before we enter into understanding how, one of you have asked, one of the viewers have asked, how do I do that? Right? And yes, stay tuned with us. We'll be sharing with you. Now, before we even understand how you do it, it's very important that you understand the biology of your brain. We all have our whole brain has some parts called the mechanical parts of our brain, which you use every day. The part that you relate with, that always you use to respond to life. The part that makes you have feelings, the part that remembers, the part that sees, perceives, understands, and the part that stores, makes decision, all of it, the mechanical parts of our brain. And we also have something called the non-mechanical parts of our brain, a huge chunk. Like you're literally using just 25% of your brain. There's another 75% that's sitting that is unused. So this entire non-mechanical parts of the brain are the parts which can function, which have high possibilities like the critical thinking and being able to have the emotional balance, being able to manifest extraordinary powers. All of these are stored in the non-mechanical parts of your brain. Now, unfortunately, most of us never awaken, never tap into the non mechanical parts of our brain. We just use one part, half brain. Now, there's a very powerful methodology, technique that Paramashiva has given and in the Vedas and Agamas, which directly help us to awaken the whole brain. That's why Swamiji says this is not left brain, right brain, or midbrain activation. This is the whole brain activating and becoming alive. Imagine what resource you will get with just half a brain, or with just using one part of a brain. We can do so many wonders in our lives. Imagine what will happen when your whole brain is awakened. There are a lot of science and fiction movies on this, which try to give us a glimpse of what exactly it is. But today, we are going to be understanding and learning the exact science of that.
Absolutely. Actually, it's very important for us to understand this because, see, many times when I used to think of that, okay, why people should learn about these things? We can live a normal life. But actually, no. How many of you secretly desire, if God appears in front of me, I'm going to ask all these things? Understand, this is the opportunity you have because your brain is so powerful that you just with the few parts of your brain getting awakened, the kind of life you will be living is something unimaginable. You think, right, many times, oh God, why am I getting tired? Like, I get tired so easily. I'm getting so exhausted easily. If you are somebody who has these feelings, understand if just the brain fully awakens, suddenly you will see a huge surge in your energy levels. you'll have heightened awareness. The way you deal with things, the way you get the ability to involve, there's going to be something else altogether. Today we are going to be actually listening to such an extraordinary revelation from Swamiji, where Swamiji is going to be talking about how you awakening your brain and fully awakening it, as well as you being able to awaken your consciousness, what all it can do to you. Very shortly, we're going to be entering into that. But before that, you all can just post here. I see many of you joining us live. Yes, Nithyananda, Divyananda, very nice to see you here.
And yes, Ma Divyananda, you have posted, yes, life can be so much bigger than what we can imagine. Yes, very true. And there's a lot that we can do with the powers that we have. Imagine it's like this: you're like an iPhone, and latest model phone with an updated software, everything. But you don't know how to use, so you're just using your iPhone without any internet just to make calls and sending messages. How much of an underuse is it, right, to their iPhone?
Not just underused, just imagine your old grandmother whom you have given such what a costly, expensive iPhone, the latest model, and like with 3 cameras in it, you go and give that to her, and she uses it just to make local phone calls. How do you feel about it? And isn't that's exactly what you're doing with your brain? That's exactly what each one of us are doing with our body and our brain. The possibility that we have is enormous. Actually, let's just do a very quick thing. Here, I see many of you that are logged in. When your brain gets awakened and when your third eye gets awakened, through the initiation from the avatar, extraordinary powers start manifesting to you. You start manifesting like some powers which is beyond what you currently think is normally possible. So now we are going to do a very quick round of body scanning.
So let's start with this. Any one of you that would like to have a quick scan of your body, if you would like to experience, if you're here for the first time and you have never ever experienced this, we'd like to share with you all what happens when you awaken your whole brain, like examples of certain powers that you can manifest. So any one of you that are here for the first time and you would like to have body scanning, please go ahead and post it in the comment section, and we will be manifesting this power with you. We'll be scanning you and sharing with you what exactly is the issue happening in your system. Okay, one Isaac. All right. So one Isaac, I'd like to manifest it with you. I know you're new. We have and there's a person, a viewer called Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Please change your name to the right name. You should put your appropriate names, your legal names. That's as per part of the security protocol of KAILASA. So please make sure you're putting your full name, and only with that we'll be able to engage with you. So please, I request you to help align to that. And we have George Ruiz. Welcome. Nice to see you. You're here for the first time. That's interesting. I'm glad that you joined here. Okay. So now all of you that are watching live here, this is the first time I'm going to be scanning one Isaac. I've never met him before. One Isaac, yeah, you can share here in the chat. Have you ever met me before? Do you know, you have any idea? You can share it in the chat. It's completely new, and I'm going to be scanning him, and I think he's here very new. Yes, you can also share if you're new here and have you ever experienced this before. Now, what I'm going to be doing is, when Swamiji initiates into us, right, the whole brain circuit gets awakened, active, it becomes alive. You start tapping the various potential in you that you can, which we never knew that we could. And I am going to be manifesting this power through which I am like thousands of miles apart, probably from one Isaac. I have no idea of where he or she is from. But I am going to be using one of these powers that Swamiji has awakened and initiated us And I'm going to be scanning one Isaac who's posted here, and all the viewers that are joining us live right now, all the people that are watching us live right now, you can see the chat, the YouTube chat, and we have continuously the comments coming in. So one Isaac is commented requesting for a scan, and I'm going to be scanning live, and I'm going to be sharing whatever I'm seeing.
Now she's going to enter into a deep meditative space and chant a very powerful mantra, the Mahavakya, initiated by Swamiji. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. So now, as she's chanting and connecting deeply in the space of oneness, from the powerful understanding that Paramashiva, the ultimate supreme Godhead of Hinduism, Paramashiva and her, both are from the same source. All of us are from the same source, therefore, all of us are in the space of oneness. And Paramashiva himself has come down in the physical form as Swamiji and initiated us into this power. Now, connecting very deeply with Swamiji from that deep connection, from the space of oneness, she is now going to be scanning one Isaac, seeing what's happening in his body. And is there some kind of any disorder that's there, any disease that's going on, or what's exact issues he or she, I'm so sorry, I do not know. You could let me know, but what you're exactly facing in your body. See, and he also very clearly said that it's here for the very first time and we've never met before. So that's what is happening right now, as all of you can see. And Om Dudi, could you put is that your real name? You could put your real name. And yes, as you're saying, after so much of struggle, persecution, despite of all of that, only still Swamiji is continuing to work tirelessly for Hindus. And I'm glad to know that you also are inspired by that.
All right. So one Isaac, I'd like to share with you what I saw. So first, I'd like to describe your physical features when I scanned what I could see. So I saw that you're quite tall, and you're having a very thin body. Your body is not very fat; it's thin. It's quite thin, and also the food that you consumed. I saw that you recently, just 2 days ago, you had a heavy meal which is non-vegetarian. Okay, and I actually, the moment I see that there's a lot of undigested food sitting in your stomach, and very frequently you will experience sudden dip in your moods. In you will just be normal, things will be normal, people around you will be normal, but you will just not be able to engage with people the same way. The enthusiasm will just go down suddenly, out of the blue. You will just go feel extremely low, and like mentally I'm talking about, and you'll feel like extremely down, and you will have to have the habit of trying to cope up with it to by eating, consuming more food. That's the first thing that I saw. And I don't know what exact food that you had. I saw like something like a brown color dish, and the oil that was used to cook that, the content, that the oil that was used to cook that is a reused oil, which is having a very bad impact in your system. Like right now, the lower part of your abdomen is swollen. If you just touch it and you can feel it, the lower part of your stomach is actually swollen. That is the undigested part that is sitting, the part of the food that is sitting in your stomach. And you will experience a pain in the right side of your abdomen very frequently because of this indigestion. So there's a stomach, and then you have your intestine, and there's an inflammation in the intestine that has happened because of the food not being processed. The type of food that you're eating is not very good for your system. Actually, I request you to share with me if one Isaac, yes, sorry, one Isaac, if you could please share with me if you're listening to this, and if you're able to relate to it, you're able to understand it. If you could please keep posting, that would help a lot.
Just post that posting. You can just post on the YouTube live chat. Just post whatever, how much ever you're able to relate with this, whatever she just shared. Are you able to feel that inside you? Do you see that in your body? Just put it in the live chat as you're sharing.
And also another important thing when I scanned, I wanted to share with you was your body's hemoglobin level in your blood is less. And this will have it will reflect as dark circles. You'll have puffiness in the eyes and you have dark circles, and that is not because of tiredness or not sleeping. It is because of the hemoglobin count in your blood being less, and that will also cause hair fall for you. Just notice the hair fall, and it will suddenly cause weight loss, sudden loss of weight, loss of appetite, irregular appetite. All of these symptoms are reflecting to you because of the hemoglobin count in your blood falling low.
I just wanted to say that one Isaac has actually acknowledged, saying that yes, it is absolutely true. That's wonderful. Could you please like share more details about what all you were able to relate with?
Actually, all the viewers can see live. This comment section is shown to you all. You can see, like one is it's shared. We've never met before. I'm probably thousands of miles away from him or her. But when I scan through the initiation that Swamiji has given, I could actually see it. One is that I could actually see your body clearly. When I scanned, I was able to see precisely what is happening in your system and how exactly it's functioning. I can still see that there's an undigested food that is sitting in, and the non-veg food that you're consuming is having a very bad impact in your body. Just go check the oil that was used for the cooking. It is a it's an old oil which is harming your system. Already the non-veg food that you consume is not getting digested. This oil is literally forming a layer on top of it, so this entire thing is like a stone sitting in your stomach. It is having a very, very bad impact in your body. And the solution that I saw for this is also, if you could just have jeera water, just boil jeera, consume warm water, drink only warm water, and you can have that constantly as a replacement for your regular water. Just have warm water, and you will see that it will have a tremendous impact of healing in your stomach. The inflammation that has happened in your intestines also needs to be healed. Just consume buttermilk from non-violent based buttermilk, and consume warm water, drink a lot of fluids, and have haritaki powder. You need to first flush out all of this from your system. You will have a huge, amazing healing happening in your body. This is what I saw. And thank you so much for volunteering to be able to go through, because you decided, you chose, and I know it's not really comfortable many
Actually,
things to open up.
one Isaac, could you let us know how do you feel? What was your experience when you experienced the scan? And how do you feel about it? Please take a moment and share. And George Rui Nunes, yes, so nice to read your comments and glad that you're enjoying. And yes, you can keep actually being a part of the show. We're going to be doing it every day at around the same timing. And you could be a part of it, and we will be also doing the scannings every day. And even you can experience this same manifestation. You will also get the opportunity to be able to manifest these.
And Tashi, you've asked what is haritaki powder. Haritaki powder is an Ayurvedic herb, which is not it's not a laxative, literally in sense of how the medicines perceive it. It's a very good Ayurvedic herb which goes and detoxifies your system, not just pushing out all the undigested stuff that's sitting in your stomach. It also flushes out the toxins from your body. So it's a very, very healthy and an amazing Ayurvedic herb. It's part of the Triphala, the three most best herbs of Ayurveda. Haritaki is one of them. And Swamiji has revealed a lot about Haritaki in the same YouTube channel. Just you can Google, search Haritaki, and you will get a lot of revelations that Swamiji has spoken about on Haritaki, and you'll benefit a lot from that.
Absolutely. And I also wanted to say, I see Om Dudi, you're continuously you're posting about Hinduism and how the gurus are being persecuted by the anti-Hindu elements. Om Dudi, yes, and Swamiji is actually standing up for the whole 2 billion Hindus and striving hard just so that we Hindus can experience real Hinduism. And day and night, Swamiji is working so hard just so that all of us can experience the sciences like these. So nice to see so many very warm comments from so many of you. And yes, thank you, Nada Kiran Naya and George Rui and Tashi, Shubham, many of you, Ranjan and Juan Isaac. So nice to have all of you also be a part of this live stream. And you would also be experiencing way more powerful cognitions where directly Swamiji himself will be guiding you step by step so you could awaken the innate potential that you are carrying inside you. So if you want to be a part of it, go ahead, take a moment now and sign up for Paramashivoham. I think we are running out of time right now, Nagakir and Aya. Tomorrow, around the same time, please be sure to tune in. And definitely, once you tune in tomorrow, leave a comment. We will be able to scan your body tomorrow. And really apologize for that because we're really running short of time. In just a few more minutes, we are now going to be entering into a very powerful revelation from Swamiji, where Swamiji is going to take us more deeper into understanding about how we make decisions, how the consciousness that we carry, the conscious decision that we carry, can actually make a huge impact in the way we exist, the way we function, and how to enhance the quality of your very life. Let's now listen to this revelation from Swami.
I welcome you all with my love and respects. I welcome all of you sitting with us all over the world with my love, respects, blessings. Paramashiva's message directly from KAILASA. Collapse the time through your consciousness. Listen. Just sincerely listen. I'll make this as an initiation in you now. I don't have a time to waste, just give you satsang and then prepare you, then initiate you, then enlighten you. No. Neither want to waste your time nor want to waste my time. I want to make your time and my time best, most productive. Sit now. I'll give you the great truths verbally and powerfully initiate them into your consciousness, make them as a reality manifesting in your life now. So sit with a deep sincerity. If you want, get a cup of hot chocolate, cup of coffee, tea. Just sit comfortably. If you are comfortable, that's enough. You can even stretch your leg, sit on your couch, or even lie down on your bed. That is all okay. Just be awake and comfortable. Stiram Sukham asanam. Be stable and comfortable. For me, sitting in this straight, either Ardha Padmasana or Padmasana is the most comfortable. I think Padmasana is always my best. Stiram Sukham for me is my Padmasana. For you, it may be any asana which gives you that Stiram Sukham, means steady, stable and comfortable. Sukham. Get into your Stiram Sukham asanam. It can be for some people stretching the leg, for some people sitting straight, for some people lying on the bed. Anything is okay. Just be stable and comfortable. I'll make this truth into reality in you. Listen. Understand these 5 dimensions: length, breadth, depth, time, space. Modern day scientists are trying to separate time and space, but ancient Vedic scientists, our masters, have always mentioned time and space more or less as a one. There's no watertight compartment between time and space. So anyhow, I'll try to explain in your logic, the logic which you understand, that way. So listen. When a breadth dimension manifests, it just swallows the length. Length loses all its qualities when it is taken over by the breadth. I tell you, when I was swallowed by Arunagiri Yogeshwara, I lost all my individual identity and qualities and quantity, everything. Just Paramashiva swallowed me and he became me. And I am happy about it. I welcomed it and I enjoyed it and I am enjoying it even now. And I am so happy I took the decision of offering me to Paramashiva for him to digest me into him. Like how big fish swallows the small fish. Big snakes swallows the small snake. How my Guru Paramashiva just swallowed me and digested me into him. Same way, higher dimensions just swallows the lower dimension. When breadth manifests, it just swallows the length. When depth manifests, it swallows the breadth and length both. When time manifests, it swallows length, breadth, depth, all three. When space manifests, it swallows time, length, breadth, depth, all four. When consciousness manifests, it swallows all. Length, breadth, depth, time, space, all. I am telling you, you have consciousness which can just swallow the time. You can apply this science very practically in your day-to-day life. You can make it into reality. Anything which you think may happen in future, for example, you are working 8 hours a day. In the same way, if you work, you will make $1 million in 2 years. But if you consciously apply your will persistence, infuse that in your day-to-day activity, that 2-year time will be drastically reduced to 2 months, 2 weeks, sometimes even 2 days. That is what I call power manifestation. And it is not something difficult. Understand? You have been empowered, hardwired with consciousness. Without consciousness, your body cannot function. Understand that. If you are able to convert blood into blood, be very clear, you have consciousness. All the mechanisms, spare parts, hardware, software, everything needed for a consciousness to function, manifest itself, if only that is available end to end, the inhaling comes out as exhaling, and blood gets converted into blood. If all this is happening in you, even with difficulty, be very clear, you have consciousness. You just need to decide not to have the fear about the struggle and failures. Treat that struggle and failures very cheaply. Don't be afraid of it. Once my guru told me very clearly, Arunagiri Yogeshwara, "Hey, pasi tangal udal shakti, pari tangal mana shakti, bhakti tangal uyir shakti." If I just explain this 3 statement, it will go for another 3-4 hours. I'll do that. Now first understand this one thing. Stop being terrorized, frightened about your struggles and failures. The moment you decide your consciousness is the supreme identity you have, you will not empower. You will not empower your depression, your frustration. Listen, the power your depression has over you is you thinking how many ever times I try to stop this depression, I am not able to, I am failing, I am again and again falling into this depression. This thought empowers your depression. Any pattern you have, trigger you go through, anyone allows this trigger to become a lifestyle, you become the serial offender of consciousness. If you say, "Oh God, I struggled so many times with my depression, I am not able to keep up, I give up," this thought will make depression as a lifestyle for you. Stop getting tired. Stop getting bullied by your failures. Yes, till yesterday you failed. That does not mean today you are going to fail again. You are going to do it. What is there? Till yesterday I failed. Okay. So today I have a chance. Either I will be successful or failure, same as yesterday. So there is nothing to lose. That's all. Look at that from this angle. Deal your problems, whether it is simple headache or depression or the worst suicidal patterns or life negativity, only through consciousness. Don't go for any other solution. Don't go for any other solution. Yesterday, one fellow was trying to describe my Gurukul. Oh, Gurukul means you have to do everything enlightenment focused. Nothing practical or things needed for your day-to-day life should be done. What a violent terrorist fellow to give this worst description about Gurukul. Not only Gurukul, on enlightenment science, doing everything consciousness, enlightenment centric, which is the most practical. The Macaulay is the most impractical, which even these stupid engineers don't use the instruments, get trained in their practical lab with something which they are going to work once they come out of engineering college. I tell you, I did engineering diploma and I have seen enough of engineering colleges. You get only the museum of the machines which was there long ago, once upon a time when India became independent. When you are studying, this so-called Macaulay's education system is the most stupid, outdated, impractical. And this fellow, Macaulay monster, is thoroughly brainwashed. He thinks the enlightenment centric system is most impractical and nothing related to life should be done. Oh God. But one good news is that fellow was not in front of me physically. So he saved himself. He escaped. I tell you, dealing your life conscious centric, enlightenment centric, is the most practical, powerful, real, actual life. Struggle is nothing but justifying your laziness, arrogance, stupidity as a cute part of you. Be ferocious, be practical with yourself. Life is life positivity. Life is for those who decide to be life positive. understand Monica Sulender, Nitya Nishkrodananda. Blessings. I read your message. I am with him. I am attending to him. Don't worry. Now listen. If you are already successful, then there is a danger of losing something which you gained through your success. But you already failed, then there is nothing to lose. Have guts, courage. Beggar has nothing to lose. If already you have failed multiple times, then there is nothing to lose. Develop a powerful will persistence. That's the most important asset for life. A powerful conscious will persistence. Your consciousness has power at this moment to swallow, digest, clean up all the incompletions, struggles, frustrations, failures, depressions, all negativity and all toxins. Listen. Sit with your life situations. Don't avoid. Decide to pour conscious solution. Decide to be intense in every activity. Everything you need, knowledge, cosmic support in the form of intelligence, resources, blessings, energy, all is available. Hey, listen. All is available. I am not giving you some life positive blah blah. I am giving you the facts of life. I am not helping you in positive thinking. No. Thinking itself is a shit. What is there in positive thinking? Listen. I am triggering your consciousness. I am triggering your consciousness. Look into your life. Listen to this. Time itself is nothing but your decision to be lazy, arrogant, stupid, and struggle with the same rut. Your decision to struggle with the same rut is time, Kala. Your decision to swallow time is Kala Bhairava. Your decision to struggle with the same rut is Kala. Your decision to swallow the time and all the struggles, frustrations, failures, everything is Kala Bhairava. Whether in the health level or in the mind level, thinking level, conscious level, don't struggle with the same problem second time. Don't be a cheap stupid to struggle with the same pattern second day. Hey, once you struggled with one pattern, that's okay enough. Why will you do the same struggle second time? I always tell my disciples, at least don't do the same mistake again and again. Even if you decide that much, that's enough. Because you are not that creative to do new mistakes. If you decide not to do same mistake again, you will not do any mistakes. In few days, you will exhaust all mistakes. You will not be able to creatively find new problems. You are not that creative. I trust your ability and I know you. You are not that creative to come up with new problems. So listen. Listen carefully. If you decide to break even one pattern, one struggle, one frustration, one failure, you reduce the time drastically. 1 million per 2 year, it reduces into 1 million in 2 months. Listen. I am talking in the angle of money because only that you understand. You can apply this in the angle of health, in the angle of anything. Day-to-day life, relationships, career, in every level, business. When you decide not to get frustrated about your frustration, not to be failed by your failures, not to be depressed by your depression, when you outsmart your repetitive thought currents are time. Time has nothing to do with chronology. Listen. Only an ordinary worker who gets up, goes to office morning 8 o'clock and works like an ordinary worker is bound by the chronological time. 99% of you, at least my devotees, my disciples who are following me, who have become economically independent, self-sufficient, who are your own boss, who made your own life, you all don't live actually in chronological time. You all live in psychological time. Chronological time is used only for 1 or 2 meetings with outsiders, Bhuloka people. Like these birthdays, Saranka Vidyakaran Malitya Lalatakshananda, birthday blessings. So like this birthday, or meeting with the people of the Buloka, planet Earth. For that you may need chronological time. But you don't exist and live in chronological time. See, once you are self-sufficient, you are your own boss, you have your time, your life for yourself. You don't live in chronological time, you live in psychological time. Psychological time is nothing but the rut of mental patterns. Somebody asked me, Swamiji, in Ramayana there is a story, Ahalya was cursed to be a stone for ages. Was she really for millions of years lived as a stone? Listen, if you decide not to break your depression, the millions of years chronological time, you will be in depression. But the moment you decide to break that pattern, you just swallow the whole millions of years and wake up now. The feat of Sri Ramachandra triggered so much of joy, life positivity, clarity, love in her. She just decided to get out of the depression state. Understand? She just decided to get out of the depression state. That's all. Now, I'll give you just 2-3 minutes. Take a paper and pen and try to pen down what is the major patterns with which you are struggling now, today. You don't need to list from your birth. Now, immediately if you open your eyes, who are the enemies you are seeing in front of your eyes other than your spouse? Other than your spouse, you will be seeing some enemies in front of you. The internal enemies. List them. I'll initiate you. To demolish this concept of time through your consciousness. You can just collapse the time and swallow it inside. You are empowered conscious. Don't decide to fast forward life
பார்வதி மனம் கவர் மகேசன் காவியுடை ஆலவாயேசனவன் யோகியரின் ரூபமாய் வந்த நித்யானந்தமே ஆலவாயேசனவன் யோகியரின் ரூபமாய் வந்த நித்யானந்தமே சரி சதா தத்த சதப பப்பத பக சரி கபத சா
சரி சதத்த தத்த சதப பப்பத பக சரி கபத சா
கரி கரி சரி சரி சத கபத சகரி
ரி சரி சத சத சதப சரி கபத சா
சகரி பகத வசதரி சகரி சா
கண்டவர் விண்ணிடவும் விண்டவர் போற்றிடவும் கண்கவர்
Listen, I'm repeating. Now decide to bulldoze your laziness. Be ferocious with your self-depressing, self-detaining doubts and patterns. Load yourself with more commitment, more responsibility, more activism. Bulldoze your laziness and commit. Tomorrow onwards, I'm going to do the yoga. And after 1 week, if you feel nothing wrong, don't worry. Again, I will come to satsang and scream at you and force you to do your yoga. See, as long as you have me as your guru, as long as the kantamala is there in your neck, don't worry. What I will do, I don't know, but I will get you enlightened. I will make you manifest Paramashivatva. Only if you remove that, then after that, it's your life. As long as you have that, your commitment to me, I know what to do with you. I can outsmart all your patterns because I have outsmarted all my patterns. I can easily outsmart your patterns. So understand, don't worry about, oh, today if I commit more to do exact yoga, puja, and whole day to be active, after 1 week, again, I'll feel loaded, I'll fail, and I'll fall into frustration, more worry, more struggle, more depression of failure. Oh, the same rat. No, don't worry. After 1 week, I will come and scream at you. Satsang is nothing but screaming at you very politely, that's all. Don't worry. Because it's a public platform, I cannot loudly scream. But when you hear inside you, the inner guru, oh, he will scream at you deeply, don't worry. The voice only which you and me hear, that will be different. The voice which everyone hears along with you will be very socially polite, politically polite. But inside you, I am sitting inside your Anandaganda. The voice which only you and me can hear, that will be different, don't worry. As long as you have Kantamala, I am your guru, I will make you enlightened. It's my commitment. Don't worry about tomorrow, day after tomorrow, failure, collapsing. Today decide, hey, all this is in front of me. I will swallow it and finish it off. I am telling you, I myself broke one pattern at a time. That is the way I evolved. Then breaking the pattern becomes pattern after 2-3 successes. That made me break 100 patterns a day. Then that gave me the courage and made me break 1,000 patterns a day. And finally, one day I broke everything, whole length, breadth, depth, time, space, everything, and swallowed everything into consciousness, and superconscious swallowed the consciousness also. That's all. Don't keep stupid, toxic, life negative struggles inside. Don't think if I jump today too much height, try to fly, I may fall after a week. It's okay. I'll be there as a net to protect you and raise you. I'll be there. And I am there all the time. After 2 days again I'll raise you. Don't worry. I'll come back for one more satsang and sit and scream at you like this. I'm like an old man sitting on that veranda outside the house, swallowing the betel leaf and nut and terrorizing every fellow who walks around here and there, who falls in my eyes. Every house will have like this one old grandfather who will be sitting, swallowing, chewing the betel leaf and betel nut. And anyone falls in their eyes, that day they are gone. He will bring their whole jatakam and wake him up and make him up. I am like that kind of an old person. I'll be continuously reminding you, don't worry, till you become enlightened. I won't rest. Till you become Paramashiva, I won't rest. Don't worry at all. Ramesh Ramani, birthday blessings. With all the auspiciousness, you will be with me, I will be with you. Blessings. Listen. When I am giving you these great truths, don't think I am trying to teach you life positivity. I am giving a pep talk. No, I am giving you conscious initiation. Learn this truth, what I am talking, from the level of consciousness, from the perspective of consciousness, from the perspective of enlightenment. Only then when you do yoga, it will lead to enlightenment. Only then when you do puja, it will lead to enlightenment. You can do yoga just for health also. Who wants just health? Just health is not the goal. Health for enlightenment, health from enlightenment, health to manifest and radiate enlightenment. Health to manifest superconsciousness. That is what we want. Understand? Enlightenment centric health, enlightenment centric wealth, enlightenment centric relationships, enlightenment centric career, enlightenment centric power manifestation, enlightenment centric, everything in and around you. To all my disciples, I give you this as a boon. With today's initiation, I'll swallow everything with which you are stuck and liberate you all. I'll empower your consciousness to swallow time. Time is nothing but a cheap struggle with the same cheap patterns. You know, you get constipated with certain food, but you eat the same shit. That's what I call getting stuck in time in the level of health. Breaking from that, liberating yourself saves time. I tell you, if you save time by reducing the wastage of time in your life, pattern of one roga, one disease, Paramashiva will break the pattern of Bhava Roga, the disease of birth and death for you. See, this Nitya Yoga, Nitya Puja and all for this purpose only. Breaking the laziness, ferociously. See, when you do Nitya Puja, you have to sit with yourself and Paramashiva. So naturally you have to break all frustration. Any frustration you have, it will finally land on Paramashiva only. Any doubt you have, it will finally land on Guru only. If you have a self-doubt, you will have a Guru doubt. Naturally, if you have a Guru doubt, you will have a Paramashiva doubt. You will doubt Paramashiva. When you sit for puja, all this will trigger in you. And you have to ferociously break that to sit for puja. So if you decide to sit for puja every day, all this rut, self-doubt, Guru doubt, Paramashiva doubt, all this will become irrelevant. And after 3-4 days, the doubts will feel so shy and doubtful about themselves. They will leave you, oh, this fellow, nothing can be done with this fellow. How much ever we bully him, he all the time goes with his Guru and we can't destroy him. They will go away and they may even go away to your mother-in-law. They may go away towards your enemies. You will be free. So understand, swallow the time. Swallow the time by breaking patterns. If you have the laziness to do yoga, break it now. After the satsang, do 108 Surya Namaskar. By 30, 40, you may lie down. That is okay. Tomorrow I will come and terrorize you and make you do 50. Day after tomorrow, I'll come and terrorize you, whether through satsang or from inside, and make you do 108 Surya Namaskar. I tell you, in few days, you will see power. When you see the result, enlightenment becomes addictive. The moment I trigger the result in you, enlightenment becomes addictive. Power manifestation becomes addictive. Paramashiva becomes addictive. That is what my Guru has done in me, done to me. Arunagiri Yogeshwara, he showed the results and then he became addictive for me. I tell you, the patterns with which you struggle gets documented in your kidney, in your intestine. When you break the patterns, again that freedom gets documented in your kidney and in your intestine. Even they start supporting you. When you break the pattern of worrying, your digestion will suddenly improve. The detox happening in your body will suddenly improve. Somebody is asking the question, oh, Surya Namaskar has to be done only in Brahma Muhurta. Should I wait till the Brahma Muhurta comes or can we do it in any day? உன் லைஃப்ல சாந்தி முகூர்த்தம் வர வரைக்கும் நீ எதுக்காகவாது வெயிட் பண்ணியிருந்தீங்கன்னா பிரம்ம முகூர்த்தம் வர வரைக்கும் யோகா பண்றது வெயிட் பண்ணு. மற்றதுக்கெல்லாம் சாந்தி முகூர்த்தம் வர வரைக்கும் வெயிட் பண்ணலன்னா அப்புறம் சூரிய நமஸ்காரத்துக்கு மட்டும் எதுக்குடா பிரம்ம முகூர்த்தம் வர வரைக்கும் வெயிட் பண்ணுவீங்க? இதை விட நேரடியா எப்படா சொல்ல முடியும்? நல்ல வேலைங்களுக்கெல்லாம் மட்டும் முகூர்த்தம் பார்ப்பானுங்களாம். இவனுங்களுக்கு தேவையானதுக்கெல்லாம் அப்படியே முகூர்த்தம் வர வரைக்கும் வெயிட் பண்றானுங்களா? லூசாடா. நல்ல வேலைங்கன்னா மட்டும் உடனே என்ன பண்ணுவானுங்க? முகூர்த்தம், சுப முகூர்த்தம், அந்த முகூர்த்தம், இந்த முகூர்த்தம். மற்றதுக்கெல்லாம் மட்டும் என்ன சாந்தி முகூர்த்தம் டைம் வர வரைக்கும் வெயிட் பண்ணீங்களா? வேணுங்கிறதுக்கெல்லாம் முகூர்த்தம் வர வரைக்கும் வெயிட் பண்றது கிடையாது, மூடு வந்த உடனே முடிக்கிறது. நல்ல வேலைன்னா மட்டும் முகூர்த்தம் வரட்டும், இந்த முகூர்த்தம் வரட்டும், பிரம்ம முகூர்த்தம் வரட்டும், விஷ்ணு முகூர்த்தம் வரட்டும், சுப முகூர்த்தம் வரட்டும் அப்படிங்கிறது. லூஸ் பசங்களா. இதுகளெல்லாம் என்ன பண்றது? சரி, திட்டுறது மட்டும் தமிழ்ல திட்டினாதான் மனசு ஆறுது. உணர்வுல இருந்து பெரிய பெரிய பிலாசபி, all the spiritual principles and all, I feel satisfied by revealing in English. But the screaming, I feel satisfied only if I scream in Tamil. Like I poured my heart out as it is raw, straight, unedited. So the person who put the question, you get my answer translated. That cannot be translated also. But I said, you try to understand the meaning on your own somehow. I tell you, I am brought up by very powerful gurus, most beautiful gurus who took my life as their life. See, actually, I am not a first generation success. I am almost like a third, fourth generation success. 3-4 generation before, the vision, ambition, my guru, Paramaguru, Paramartha Guru, they cherished. My Paramartha Guru poured all his ambition, vision intensely into my Paramaguru. And my Paramaguru poured all his tapas, energy, intention, intensity into my Guru. And my Gurus have poured all their intention, energy, power, tapas, ferociousness, everything into me. I am that intense manifestation. That is why within the 44 years, so much has manifested through me. Understand? Only yesterday we realized, when we organized, till now, I think in when I was 12 or 13, I started writing books. Means like whatever I hear from my gurus, I started noting down and in an organized way. And the earliest book written by me, my own handwriting, we are able to retrieve, is maybe when I was 13 or 14. My teachings from my gurus. What I received from my gurus, I decided to pen down in my own way for myself. My teachings for myself, which I received from my gurus. Whatever I received from my gurus, how I need to apply it in my life, I started penning down. That is the earliest book available, written by my own hand, and the mantras I received from my gurus and the techniques I received from my gurus. From that time till now, all I have written, spoken, we have compiled and come up as books. You guys will be shocked. We have 3 full hard disks. Only one hard disk contains 1,100 books with ISBN number. Means already published, revealed to the world, and people are reading it, either hard copy or soft copy, digitally, Kindle, some form. And we have 2 more hard disks untouched. Means it has become a book, but not yet published with ISBN number. We are going to get the ISBN number and upload them as books. So much has been done in just 44 years because I had amazing gurus who were absolutely ferocious with me. They were very clear. They said, no question of do or die. If you die, who will do? No. No question of dying also. Just do. After that, what happens is different. Do is the only option. The intense generosity of 3-4 generations of my gurus poured into me made all this manifest. And I had an amazing ecosystem of gurus. It's not just one guru, please understand. I had a beautiful guru parampara. It's like a university. I learned Agama and Shaiva Siddhanta from Muduverumbulavar Vidwan Panduranganar, Yoga from Yoganandapuri, the science of Aushada from Narayana Swami, and Nirahara Samyama, and the science of Nirahara from Mauna Swami, the science of Advaita Vedanta from Isakki Swami, and experiential Suddhadvaita from Annamalai Swami, Tantra from Mataji Vibhudanandapuri, an amazing ecosystem. They literally did all the tapas in my body. And I will do the same for you all. As long as you are my disciple, you come and sit for the satsang, that's enough. I know what to do inside you, outside you, to make you manifest Paramashiva. I am a guy who makes it happen. No question of reasons. I always tell, valid reasons for your failure does not make success. Valid reasons for not doing is not equivalent to getting it done, making it happen. Make it happen. Shock everyone by making it happen. That's my life. Last 44 years, this is the statement I can make comfortably about me. Shock everyone, surprise everyone by making it happen. Surprise the people who love you. Shock the people who hate you. But both by making it happen. Whether I surprise or shock, it's always by making it happen. If I start 10 projects and only one is successful, I will start 10,000 so that at least 100 will be successful. I won't even bother, oh, I started 10, one became successful, let me start 10,000 and at least 1,000 will be successful. Even if it's 100 is successful, it's okay. Let me start 10,000. Unending excitement, enthusiasm, power, consciousness, life positivity swallows that length, breadth, depth, time, space, all the lower dimensions and makes you manifest Ishwaratva. Manifest Ishwaratva. Life is all about manifesting Paramashivatva. Don't waste time in going through the same rut and not deciding. In every level I am talking. I was so busy last 3 years, intensely working with a large team, almost 100 team worked for me to get these embassies, diplomatic relationships, home country agreements and sister city agreements, and reaching out to multiple people and lobbying, getting the sovereign land for KAILASA, the autonomous lands and everything. Now we have a time to breathe because we have everything needed to stitch ourselves as a nation, present ourselves as a nation and offer it to the world. It's now sailing, smooth sailing. Then immediately the next thing I announced, let's have Paramashivoham. That's it. Paramashivoham level 2, that's it. Sorry, Paramashivam level 3. That's it. Let's start our work. We did not have the programs directly conducted by me from morning till night. The whole day programs. Just because I was too engrossed in multiple meetings. You don't know how many country foreign affairs ministers, internal affairs ministers, home ministers, prime ministers, presidents, we met and had sessions, calls. Pah. With grace of Paramashiva, directly Paramashiva's blessings, we are successful now. Now it is time we start the spiritual work again. Focus more on the spiritual work. Program starts, darshan starts. Soon, physical darshans will start. No question of relaxation should not be given the status of celebration after success. More work is the celebration after each success. If you are successful, celebrate your success with more work. More work is the festival. After every festival. If the Utsava is successful, make the Utsava into Nityotsava to make life a celebration and festival. My boys know this. My girls, my boys, they know it. If you make one Brahmotsava successful, it is going to become Nityotsava. That's what his life is all about. Celebrate the success with more work. Celebrate the conclusion of one festival with next festival. Celebrate the Brahmotsava, conclusion of the Brahmotsava with Nityotsava. Now even our branches are empowered. The branch Kailasas all over the world are fully empowered to run Brahmotsavams and Nityotsavams. Gauri S is messaging, I wish to have your physical darshan with family. The first batch which will receive physical darshan will be people who stood by me throughout this struggling period. During this period, whoever stood by me, those people will have the first darshan and they have the first right over the Kailasa. Like a founding fathers, all the SJP Yajamans and SJP Kartas and SJP manifestors and people who shared their time volunteering, who stood by me, being Adinavasis during this crisis, stood with their commitment to me during this turbulent period. All of them will have the first right over the Kailasa. Anyone relevant to my life, I keep every detail about that person inside me. People who are not relevant to my life, I don't even remember them. So be very clear. The Paramashivoham level 3 is going to be more revival of the whole thing. Whatever I shared till now, condensing the whole thing and reviving it as experience. Starting from completion, unclutching, power manifestation, vertical time zone, states of consciousness, signs of the states of consciousness and the planes, multiple planes, everything. Gauri S is asking, I'm so happy you called my name. Please give name for my baby girl, Swami. If you are ready to give your girl to my Gurukul, I will give you name. My demands are straight. If you don't want, you keep your girl and give one more birth. You keep one, you give one to Gurukul. Whoever you want to give it to Gurukul, for that girl I will give name. That time maybe as a bonus I will give a name for this girl also. Either you can give one more birth to a boy or a girl or bring them up till the age of 7 and send them to Gurukul. Or inspire and enrich, at least make 10 people to live enlightenment, to practice Hinduism. Some way be active, alive. If you want to keep your girl, you name it. If you want to send that girl to Gurukul, then tell me, I'll name it. With whom they are going to grow, based on that I'll give the name. At least be productive in this way for Hinduism. Give birth till you can. Even if it is 10 kids, nothing wrong. Keep 3 or 4 for you to take care of you and your family lineage. Send all the remaining 7, 8 to Gurukul. I'll bring them up and they will be part of this Paramashiva Sena, the Paramashiva's mission. I assure you, I will give them the best. That's all. Gauri, yes, is committing, she will do. That's good. So when you send one baby to Gurukul, I will give name for both babies. You put your original photo as a profile picture. Why are you just using G? So I'll keep your face in my memory and ask you whenever I see, hey, you committed. Where is the baby? The time you experience is just a mixture of your tiredness, laziness, repetitive stupidity. Tiredness, laziness, repetitive stupidity. Swallow it with your consciousness. I empower you. I'll swallow it for you. Clean it up. Make the fresh Satya Sankalpas. Form a new life. Whether your decision to do yoga and puja, temple volunteering, or your business, your work, your career, your health, your career, in everything. Take the load and be active and make powerful decisions, even if it looks little impractical, as if you lived your whole life practical or what. Impractical in the direction of life positivity is okay, even if you fail. You can get up and you will learn the habit of trying again and again. And proceed. Progress. So essence of today's satsang. As living consciousness, swallow the time. Shrink the time through conscious will persistence. Make the future into present by swallowing your laziness, tiredness, frustration, stupidity, boredom, by being ferocious with yourself without blaming the external situations and others. Stand. Be a conscious woman or man. Be conscious being. As a living manifestation of Paramashiva, I trigger this as an initiation in all of you. Let consciousness, super consciousness manifest in all of us. And manifest fully the unmanifest of Paramashivatva. Let Paramashiva manifest, Parameshwara manifest in all of us. Om, Om, Om. Om, Om, Om. Om, Om, Om. Om, 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 Om.
உலகமே கண்டு வைக்கும் சுத்தி போடுங்கடி வருகிற நாள் எல்லாம் வளமாக வாழணும், இருக்கிற நாள் எல்லாம் நமக்காக மாத்தணும். அதுக்கு இப்போது நாம் என்ன செய்யணும்? நித்யானந்தரின் சொல் கேட்டு நடக்கணும். மனிதராய் பிறந்த நம்ம எல்லாம்.
Om, Om. With this I bless you all. Let's all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Paramadvaitam, Shuddhadvaita Saivam, the state, space, powers, being, super consciousness and KAILASA, Maha KAILASA, Paramashiva, Paramashivoham, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, the eternal bliss Nithyananda. Thank you, be blissful.